Actor Brad Pitt wants to make Kansas City a better place. There could be a decision before the end of the year about domestic partner benefits at Mizzou. Crooks are breaking into law enforcement vehicles and making off with weapons and other equipment. Now, the lead architect on this project is a man by the name of Moshe Softy. He is an internationally well-known architect out of Boston, and he actually conceived the Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts by sketching it on a napkin. Once the darkness dissipates and the sunlight comes up, we're going to see so much more damage here in Sedalia, standing on 65 Highway. Let's look off to the side. You can see this mattress store. It's lit up, and you can see the damage that EF2 tornado did yesterday. Now, if you're a teenage driver in Kansas, beware. Police will be looking for you this week to make sure that you're buckled up. Right now, there is a backlog of about 1,000 criminal cases in Johnson County. But thanks to a brand new $28 million crime lab, more of those cases could soon be solved. ATM fees are at an all-time high. Millions of Americans are spending hundreds of dollars each year just to get at their own cash.
And I'm sure you're going to bring some back for us. I'm just saying that.
Of course, if there's any left over. We'll see. No, Kelly, I'll tell you what, for those fans coming out to watch Sporting KC play here in their brand new $200 million soccer stadium, make sure you come with an empty stomach because there is some wonderful food here.
Did you know that there are more than 5 million cats and dogs living in the nation's animal shelters waiting to be adopted? And new this morning, one group up in the Northland wants to do its part to reduce the pet population. Goldie Arnold runs the Northland Animal Welfare Society, and tomorrow morning they're opening up a low-cost spay and neuter clinic in Riverside. The building off Northwest Vivian Road will serve pet owners on government assistance, giving them a cheap way to spay and neuter their cats and dogs. Today you can attend a review of the Kansas City Public Schools' efforts to regain state accreditation. The meeting runs from 1 until 4 this afternoon in the Parent University Room at Manual Career Technical Center off Truman Road. The state's regional school improvement team will hear from the school district about its progress toward accreditation. KCK police are still searching for the gunman involved in 2 deadly weekend shootings, and one of them hurt a baby. Early Sunday morning, gunmen shot a man and a woman in a first-floor apartment at the Rosedale Apartments near Mill Street and Federal Avenue. The gunman also shot an 8-month-old baby. According to our reporting partner, the Kansas City Star, the gunmen were targeting the 21-year-old man who was the baby's father, but they also killed the 16-year-old babysitter who was the baby's aunt. Time right now is 6:54, and these are the 5 things we're talking about this morning to start your day. Gas prices have been going up all week long. Now, experts expect them to take a 20-cent jump by the weekend. According to GasBuddy.com, the price of regular unleaded gasoline has gone up about 12 cents on average in Kansas City since last week. An expert with GasBuddy says tensions with Iran and the maintenance going on at oil refineries is causing short-term gas shortages. Coming into work this morning, I noticed it was already up since from yesterday, up to $3.57 a gallon.
And in theory, more by the weekend is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then by Memorial Day, is something like $4 plus.
5 in some parts of the country.
Potentially,
I mean,
right.
This thing is not,
Yeah, here we go again,
not good.
Right?
That's right, Kelly. You know, we're talking about the stadium all morning long. Let's talk about the team. What are folks who come out here on Thursday night going to see out here on the pitch? Joining me right now, we have Sporting KC head coach Peter Vermes. Good morning to you, Peter.
Morning. How are you?
Good. Tell me a little bit, Coach, about the team. What can people expect?
Yeah, I think now that we're coming back home, I think you're going to see a high-flying group, especially with the fact we'll be in front of our own fans finally.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have played 11 games straight on the road. What does that do to a team just having to travel and travel and travel and not be able to play here in Kansas City?
Yeah, I think it's easy to understand the travel aspect. I think the one thing that gets lost in it is the disconnect between the players and the fans.
And what a great stadium. You know, you gave us a tour of the locker room. It's gorgeous in there. What do the players think about this new stadium?
Well, I think they're in awe. The amenities here are incredible, not just for the fans, but I think also for the players
Awesome.
as well.
Thank you, Coach, so much. Of course, we're going to be out here all morning long. Stay with us. We're back right after this. Forecasters right now saying it was probably an EF2 with winds as high as 130 miles an hour blowing through Sedalia and causing all sorts of damage. I mean, take a look at the debris we're seeing just on the side of the road. I mean, this from some metal sheeting off of one of the buildings. A lot of businesses here along 65 Highway, and of course, with the power out, KCP&L crews have been working nonstop. At one point, we had about 2,000 residents and businesses without power. Right now, it's about 287.
There is a major movement in Kansas City to recycle glass. In the past 2 years, Ripple Glass has put out more than 100 purple bins across the metro. So what do they do with all the glass they collect? We decided to find out. A romantic dinner, a bottle of wine. This is the scene at restaurants and bars throughout the metro every single night. The Urban Table in Prairie Village sells hundreds of bottles of beer, wine, and soda every day.
But instead of throwing them in the trash, they put them in the recycle bin.
We recycle nightly. Ripple Glass has made it really easy for us, putting bins, throughout the city, and I don't really think there's an excuse not to.
The purple bin sits in the parking lot, and twice a day, Emily and her staff take all the empty bottles and dump them.
Bars and restaurants do go through so much glass, and so yeah, it does take a little bit of extra effort, especially if you don't have a bin close by.
Once full, a truck picks up the purple bin and takes it to the Ripple Glass facility on Kansas City's east side. They then dump the glass out on the pavement. With broken glass strewn all over the ground, a front loader scoops up the glass and dumps it into a storage container connected to a conveyor belt. The belt then moves the glass through the facility, where the machines and a worker do their jobs.
Once inside the plant, it is cleaned of everything but glass. So rocks are knocked out, paper is vacuumed away, magnets will pull out any metals.
After being cleaned, it is then separated. All the brown glass, about 15% of the glass collected, is shipped to Oklahoma and made into beer bottles, then sent back to the Boulevard Brewing Facility to hold more beer. The other 85% of the glass goes to Owens Corning in Fairfax. The company melts the recycled glass and uses it to make insulation material.
And it's better for our landfills, they'll last longer, and it's great for them because they're keeping it out of their trash and they're doing something productive with this material instead.
2 years ago, the owners of Boulevard Brewing created Ripple Glass to service a need in the community. While most communities around the nation recycled 30% of their glass, Kansas City only recycled 5%. But in the past 2 years, that number in Kansas City has jumped to 16%, and Ripple Glass is not done. Right now, 70 restaurants in the metro recycle their glass. Starting in January, 50 more restaurants and bars will begin putting their glass in the purple bins.
With so much of their waste stream being glass, we expect to see a lot of wonderful product come from these bars and restaurants.
Yeah, this movement really is growing here in Kansas City. In fact, Ripple Glass is now working with Mission Hills to give purple tubs to residents there so that they can leave their glass by the curb every week.